Thanks for staying with us. So in exactly 1 month from today, President Bola Tinubu's administration will clock 2 years. And to critically dissect the journey so far, we have a veteran journalist in the studio. He is the chairman of the editorial board, The Nation newspaper. But that's not why we're here. We're here for a different reason. But you can call us on the numbers on your screen. We have with us Mr. Sam Omatseye, who is going to be our guest today. Please welcome to the show.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Sam, good to have you. You can call us on 020-1635-2013, 090-2416-3440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We're happy to read your messages. The reason why I said that's not why you're here. We're here because of your book, because you just launched this fantastic book, and that's why we invited you. But later on, we'll discuss about the administration's 2-year and your thoughts on it. But let's talk about first of all, how are you doing? It's been a while you've been on this show.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I've been on the show in other ways, as you know. By sending messages.
Oh, yes. I read your contributions when I get them. Good to have you on the show, Sam.
Same here.
So, tell us about this new fiction. I was so drawn into it, you know.
Yes.
I mean, I'm on chapter 4, I think it's Mami's chapter, but we're still... Tell us about this book, this JUJU Eyes. Let's start with the name. Where did that come from?
Well, in fact, somebody asked me about a week ago. I had to go into the book again to find out how I got that, you know. Because there was a scene in which there was this white man who is now in love with the main character called Shay. And he is visiting Port Harcourt, and is one of his friends, and he sees that the chef of his friend is calling his girlfriend JUJU Eyes. So he was wondering, why do you want to, you know, demean the woman by calling her JUJU Eyes? I said, no, okay, I'm not demean her. I call her JUJU Eyes because I dey worship her. So this white man who is befriending Shay now calls Shay JUJU Eyes because he feels that she's benumbing, she has quote-unquote witchcraft beauty.
Yes.
That's so cool. You know, when you were explaining, the way you are narrating it, it feels, I'm picturing it, like it feels like a movie to me. Like, and one of the things that I find interesting about stories written by Nigerians is that it reflects us in a way that the other fictional stories written in the Western world does not reflect us. We don't see ourselves in the story. So well done for this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask that, are we going to be, like, this story should get a movie out of it? You know, are you working out on something like a movie from any of the books you've written?
Well, no, not yet. I'm so busy writing, I'm not thinking about it.
So, I read the author's note, and you talked about a particular story you had heard during the COVID. About that period, how it unraveled a lot of relationships. And in this particular one, you know, it seemed that a couple had met their Waterloo, so to speak, because they've realized you are not who you say that you are. And for me, I would like you to give us a little bit of context on how this affected this particular story that you've written, and what is the message you're trying to pass across for people?
Yes, you see, the story itself began one morning when I was just surfing the news on social media, and then I came upon this story about this very attractive young lady who is married to a white guy in the UK. I think something, maybe in Dublin, somewhere around there. And the man is actually shocked by what he discovered. She denied who she was, her background, her educational background, her mother. And she could have accepted all she was, and the man could still have loved her for who she was, but she didn't. So that was sets my mind going, that this is not just about her. It's a kind of the society we live in, which things are not what they seem, you know. And, you know, I thought I would write this story about a man, this kind of story about a man, you know. somebody who is out there, who is successful, who is charming, intelligent, but has to succeed through disguises, through all kinds of phony exteriorities, things like that. Packaging, that's what's called packaging. And I'm also concerned that there's a lot of innocence. Even inside of all of this, there's an innocence. And it's that innocence that actually gets me in this story. That in spite of the fact that she is this girl that everybody loves and tries to emulate or tries to envy, the rich men want her, the poor people fantasize about her, but she's there, she's innocent, but she has to somehow succeed. So that is the pressure on this lady.
I love the book. This is a fresh reading from your other books I've read.
Yes.
Yes, this is much
The English is simpler.
Yeah.
You stepped it down a bit. Because
I read Okoro. I couldn't understand it till I got to chapter 6. I read it again and again. It was around the Civil War. Just couldn't.
This one draws you in.
But this one is so engaging. I couldn't drop the book, and I've not even gone far. I liked the way you put the sexual violence that happened in the book.
Yes.
Almost as if a young girl could not tell the difference. She couldn't tell the danger. I've not read to the justice, so because we always look for justice.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've not gone far with it. But I like the way you put it. Almost as if, if a girl were to read this book now, you would know where to draw the line. The line became blurred in the details, and I was wondering what was on your mind when. Because I know this is a fiction.
You see, I've that story about the girl and her uncle is more common than we think in this society. It's more common. And if you read the stories, especially the crime stories in the newspapers, you see a lot of it. I read one last week about a father and an uncle who defiled a 10-year-old. Yes, it just has happened just last week. So we find a lot of that, and even the mother of the girl, and this is very interesting. The mother of the girl is not too sure that her daughter didn't draw the money. So there's still this ambiguity about it. It's like, is she even aware that she's also coquettish? Does she know how to draw the line when she's in this?
Yeah. It was almost like she was. I almost sensed that she knew, she saw it coming, thought about it when it might happen, and then it happened, and she felt that, okay, maybe I should have actually not allowed it to happen to us. And I think I'd like to wrap up on this book conversation with the blurb at the back. And let me read from Professor Kumbi Olashope, University of Ibadan. It says, an interesting narrative, brilliantly woven. The author has captured the whole essence of human strength and frailty, actually. Intrigues, love, marriage, trust, hypocrisy, deceit, and lies. Indeed, you cannot pay anyone to be holy. You can only pay them to pretend. Now, for me, that captures really the essence of this book. So, in a nutshell, could you tell us what you expect Nigerians to get out of the book once they read it?
Well, there are so many things you can get out of it. The book is it's about a fallen woman, but it's also emblematic of the Nigerian society. But it's also deeply political. If you go into the novel, it's also interracial and so on. So it's about how Nigerians try to project a certain image other than who they are, and the challenges of trying to live that life.
But let me go on a very short break when we come back. Because we don't do book reviews on this show, but because it's you, we're just trying to do something a bit more in depth. But we'll go into Nigerian and what's happening in the political sector. Yeah. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.